Hi, I'm Dwayne D.K. Sutton, and welcome to From Blog to Brand. And here's where you're going to learn how to use a blog to skyrocket your career and grow your business. You know, when you meet someone new, two questions tend to emerge. Who are you and why are you here? Well, I'm going to answer both questions because they are related to the course. I've had the good fortune of helping people develop personal brands. Now, some of these people you may know and some you may not. I've also had the good fortune of having two books make it to the bestseller list on Amazon.com. Now, these books were in tough categories like self-help. So I'm going to share with you some of the same techniques that I used to get to the top of those categories and become a bestseller twice over, and share those techniques with you, and also how I helped develop some of the top personal brands in the world. That's going to be shared in this course. Now, let me begin by telling you how I began my journey into branding. It all started in Augusta, Georgia. I was the chief operating officer for a very small independent record label. We started with one record. And that one record turned into many records. In fact, at one point, we had 3 number one records on the Billboard charts at the same time. Unheard of for an independent record label, especially one from Augusta, Georgia. During that time, I got an opportunity to meet a myriad of people from various walks of life. Some were attorneys and some were producers and songwriters and publishing administrators. Of course, recording artists. And that's where my personal branding journey began. What I noticed was that there needed to be an intersection between entertainment and entrepreneurship. In other words, the record industry is one that you probably have heard is one where recording artists tend not to do very well in the long run in terms of finances. Things are getting better, but they aren't necessarily the best. What I noticed was that once you sat down with these young artists and you began to share with them how it was important for them to think beyond their records, something interesting began to happen. Those people with the biggest names, with the biggest reputations in terms of delivering great shows, got the best gigs in terms of concerts, and they were paid the most. In other words, these people had established their brands. Now, back then, they weren't thinking so much about brands as they were just trying to get their music out and promoting their music. But I took note of that, and I began to make a conscious effort to begin to help some of these recording artists. And I became a personal manager. So that meant taking these people and turning them into personal brands. But before I get too much into that, there was a detour. I needed more business knowledge. So I left the recording industry and I went to Duke University to get my MBA. And by the way, yes, Duke University is the number one MBA program in the U.S. I learned a great deal about networking. I learned about powerful brands. I learned about marketing. So I took those skills and brought them back to a new world. Something interesting happened. I had a telephone conversation with a friend of mine who was an executive at a major record label. He had just gotten fired from his job. And he told me that 21 other people that we knew were also fired. Divisions were closed down. There was a new day in the record industry. As I'm talking with him, it dawned on me that we have literally millions of dollars of knowledge that's sitting on the sidelines. And so what I decided to do was to get in the middle of that. Being an entrepreneur, I began to think about how best can you take that knowledge and spread it to the world, especially to new artists that are coming up in the recording industry. And from that were some new opportunities born. And so I started taking these people with this vast expertise and then began to take that expertise and package it, brand it, and then make them authorities in their fields. A number of them began to do speaking engagements, and they wrote books, and they did instructional videos, and their careers began to skyrocket in a completely new way. And lots of these people didn't have college degrees. So this was the only option for a number of them. And they're happy that they took that path, that road. I had a neighbor of mine who was a general surgeon, and he approached me one day about what he could do to build his profile. And then something interesting happened. A whole new world opened up. Instead of focusing on people in the entertainment industry, I began to help people who were dentists and who were personal trainers and who were consultants and coaches and different types of professionals. And a whole new world opened up in terms of personal branding. And that's how we got to where we are today in terms of this course. And I'm going to share that same information with you today. If you are an artist, a photographer, a musician, a dentist, an attorney, a consultant, an accountant, any person who relies on their being to help promote their business, then this course is for you. We're going to walk step by step through the personal branding process, but using a blog as the platform to build your brand. Now, one key point, this course is an introduction to personal branding. So yes, there are some advanced topics that we don't touch. However, I will be updating this course as time goes on to bring on new information. But my goal now is to lay the foundation for you, to give you the fundamentals so that you can build a solid personal brand and skyrocket your career and grow your business.